Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. The big story, of course, remains the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal in the Delhi excise policy case and the fallout of that. The political repercussions for both the BJP and the India Alliance are going to be seen in the upcoming elections. But talking about this particular investigation and Arvind Kejriwal, currently he is inside the Rouse Avenue court. Arguments are being made both by the ED Council and by Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who is representing Arvind Kejriwal. Arguments are being made for a remand. The Enforcement Directorate, remember, that is investigating this particular case, has sought for a 10-day custody of Arvind Kejriwal. They want to corroborate his statements with those made by witnesses, with those made by accused that have turned approvers. What was the need for an arrest in the first place was the argument that Arvind Kejriwal's counsel made. We're still waiting on what the court decides, but listen in to what Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, had to say as he was inside court.
मेरे जीवन देश के लिए समर्पित है और चाहे अंदर हो या बाहर मेरे जीवन देश के लिए समर्पित है और चाहे अंदर हो या बाहर
What I have to say, I have said in court. I don't want to engage on cameras. Sorry, thanks a lot. What I have to say, I have said in court. I don't want to engage on cameras. Sorry, thanks a lot.
My colleagues joining us, getting us updates from on ground, getting us more details of what's transpiring in court. Arunima joining us. Arunima, the hearing is still underway. Arguments are being made from both sides.
Yes, very long hearing. First, it was the ED presenting its case, detailing why it sought 10-day remand. Then Abhishek Manu Singhvi rebutted, followed by Ramesh Gupta, and now once again Additional Solicitor General SVS Raju is citing judgments. He is currently citing the Manish Sisodia bail judgment in which the Supreme Court denied bail. So what is the sum total of the arguments that have happened? Enforcement Directorate has said that it needs 10 days of custody of Arvind Kejriwal because there is new evidence which has cropped up. They have managed to record statement of one of the Aam Aadmi Party candidates who fought the Goa election and corroborate the evidence that he has given, which shows that money by the Aam Aadmi Party was paid for Goa elections in cash. ED's case is that this cash was actually the Hawala money that came from the South group of businessmen who paid a bribe of 100 crore rupees to Aam Aadmi Party so that the excise policy was made in a way that they got 12% profit. That's the charge. What the Enforcement Directorate is telling the court right now is 10 days of custodial interrogation of Arvind Kejriwal is required so that all this new evidence is put before him. He is then made to confess or give leads about what happened to the rest of the money, and the money trail is then completed. 45 crore used in Goa elections. What happened to the rest of the 55 crore is what ED is trying to find out. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, on behalf of the defence, has said that this could have been done without taking Kejriwal into custody as well. We are waiting to see what the court ultimately opines.
Right, do stay on with us. Sherin Anshul also joining us live, getting us more details. Anvit is outside the Rouse Avenue court as well. Anvit, coming to you first, we are getting details of what's transpiring inside court, and the big information that in fact is now coming through is that the ED Council has said, or the ASG appearing for the Enforcement Directorate has in fact said that they do have concrete evidence to show that this policy was changed only to fund Goa elections for the Aam Aadmi Party.
Yeah, and this has come just after they made a point that the latest statement that they have recorded is of an AAP candidate from Goa who has said that he had received the cash. So after this they have said that they have got all important evidences to corroborate the fact that Aam Aadmi Party's convener Arvind Kejriwal and the top leader of the party, he is the prime suspect in this case. In fact, ED has also gone on to say in the court that he is the kingpin of this entire scam that they are probing right now. We are reporting from Rouse Avenue court. You can see strict bandobast here as Arvind Kejriwal continues to be inside and the arguments continuing from both the sides inside the court right now. Previously, ASG Raju had made point before the court saying that the arrest, because it has been being said since last evening when Kejriwal was arrested, that this arrest is illegal and unconstitutional. He has said that how the arrest was made, what does the arrest memo say, what are the other documents say, they have all been put before the court to make sure that the court is convinced that the arrest has been made with all the due procedures that have been followed. Also, when the defense counsel started, they said that the arrest is not valid and therefore the the investigation that needs to be done could also have been done without taking Arvind Kejriwal into custody. But see, the ED has sought 10 days of remand, and they are saying that because K. Kavita was also recently arrested, she is a member of the South Lobby, which allegedly had paid kickbacks of 100 crores, of which S.G. Raju had again today said in the 5 crores were used in the Goa elections. So all these arguments come back to the same point of 100 crores and the 45 crores of which were used in Goa elections. Now
Yes.
SG has again gone on to say that they have full evidence to prove that in the court. So for that, ED is pestering again and again that they need Arvind Kejriwal in custodial interrogation, so that he can be his statement can be corroborated with other people's statement, and they can also establish whatever statements have been made by, be it C. Arvind, former Secretary of Manish Sisodia, or
Right.
Mahendru, or be it Vijay Nair, all those who have been arrested. So their statements can be corroborated and evidence can be collected, so the case can be taken to a strong conviction.
Right, and Arunima, it's interesting. We'll have to see how Arvind Kejriwal's team of lawyers, there are 3 that are appearing for him, actually respond to this kind of claim that the ED has made, that they actually do have evidence. They say they have a watertight case on this front.
You know, what the defense has been saying is that all that ED has in terms of evidence is statements from the accused. What they have said is that you arrested person A, denied bail to him, opposed when he went for bail, and therefore in custody you coerced that person into naming Kejriwal. Abhishek Manu Singhvi also said that 80% of the people have actually not named Kejriwal. It's only the father-son duo of Manguta Reddy and Sarath, one of the co-accused in this case. Only they have named Kejriwal because you have forced them to do so. And ultimately, where is the corroborative evidence? ASG Raju also acknowledged that at the stage of the trial, corroborative evidence will be needed to prove this case. But at the stage of remand application, the very fact that there are others who have named Kejriwal, that should be good enough for the court to grant ED custody of Kejriwal. So that back and forth is going on. But it is true that ultimately, if the ED wants to file a charge sheet and ensure that in a trial it secures conviction against Arvind Kejriwal, it will need much more evidence than just statements of people who are saying that Kejriwal was the kingpin in this case.
More is required. That's the argument that the team of Arvind Kejriwal is trying to make. We are getting details coming in from inside the courtroom. The Enforcement Directorate's counsel, in fact, going on to say that our case is that not only is Arvind Kejriwal liable individually as well, it's that the Kejriwal was not arrested pursuant to these summons. Even if he had come pursuant to these summons, he would have been arrested as a conspirator, being viciously liable by the company, which is the Aam Aadmi Party. So on 2 fronts, the Enforcement Directorate seems to be going after Arvind Kejriwal in this particular case. Sharon and Anshul also joining us, getting us more perspective and more details on this. Now, Anshul, the case is still being heard. The ED is pushing for a 10-day remand. What, of course, comes through, we'll have to wait and watch. But a lot of back and forth is being heard inside the courtroom.
Well, definitely for the first time we are seeing that the Enforcement Directorate has come out so openly about the details and the nitty-gritties of the case that they have investigated over the last 2 years now. Today, the manner in which the Enforcement Directorate is constantly arguing that they have established a money trail. In fact, this was one of the biggest statements that they have made, that the entire liquor policy was tweaked or made just for the Aam Aadmi Party to be benefited in the Goa elections. This is a big allegation coming in from the side of the Enforcement Directorate, and this is for the first time that over the last 2 years the Enforcement Directorate has gone ahead and said something like this with so much conviction. So definitely the Enforcement Directorate is very confident that they have the requisite amount of proof that could tie Arvind Kejriwal to this entire matter, and that is the reason why they want to question Arvind Kejriwal, because he could be the string that could tie all the loose ends of this case together. Because according to the Enforcement Directorate, as they have been mentioning in front of the court, that he is the kingpin, he is the mastermind of this alleged scam that happened out here in the national capital. So yes, it remains to be seen for how many days will the court grant custody, or if at all the court will grant custody to the Enforcement Directorate. But yes, the manner in which the allegations are coming in from the side of the Enforcement Directorate, the manner in which they are detailing the court about their investigation that has been carried out till now, is definitely looking like some bad news, not only for Arvind Kejriwal but also for the Aam Aadmi Party as a whole. Sure. Because today it is also interesting to note that today the Enforcement Directorate is calling Aam Aadmi Party a company that had benefited from this entire alleged scam that has happened. So how will this eventually turn out for the Aam Aadmi Party as a whole? That is something that is going to be very, very interesting to see, and we'll get to know that in the coming few days. But at this point in time,
and even as that hearing is underway in the Rouse Avenue Court, the political war of words continues. Before I get my colleague Sherin in on what this means for the India alliance, for the Aam Aadmi Party's political future, let's listen into some more reactions that are coming in.
कोई भी विपक्ष का कोई लीडर अगर बीजेपी के जुल्म जबर के खिलाफ बोलता है तो उसके घर पे ईडी आती है, उसके घर पे सीबीआई आती है, इनकम टैक्स आती है और ये अनडिक्लेयर्ड इमरजेंसी की तरह देश के हालात हो गए हैं.
Arvind Kejriwal should understand, as should the congressmen, as should the India alliance partners, that the law and the consequences of violating the law don't stop just because you are a politician or you're a political leader. Every Indian today is subject to the same laws. If you have and are involved in corruption, there is nothing that should prevent the law from coming to your doorstep and asking you all the relevant questions, even if you are Arvind Kejriwal or even if you are any big politician in the India alliance. So this is all a big national political drama that is being created by the India alliance partners.
गिरफ्तारियां होती रही हैं राजनीति के अंदर. अंग्रेज़ों के ज़माने में भी गिरफ्तारियां हुआ करती थी, मगर जिस मानवीयता का अंग्रेज़ भी ध्यान रखते थे, सब देशों के अंदर जो न्यूनतम मानवीय मूल्य हैं, मिनिमम ह्यूमैनिटी है, उसका भी ध्यान नहीं रखा जा रहा.
Mr. Kejriwal, people are going to jail, and if you are corrupt, people will continue to go to jail. अगर आप भ्रष्ट हैं तो आप जेल जाएंगे. अब की रीत अलग है, अब की नीत अलग है.
ये भारत के लोकतंत्र के इतिहास में पहली बार हुआ है कि लोकसभा की चुनाव की घोषणा के बाद एक नेशनल पार्टी के नेशनल कन्वीनर को गिरफ्तार किया गया है. ये बिल्कुल साफ है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की गिरफ्तारी भारतीय जनता पार्टी की एक राजनीतिक साजिश है. एक ऐसे केस में गिरफ्तार करना जहां पर आज तक ईडी कोर्ट्स के सामने कोई भी सबूत नहीं रख पाई है, सिर्फ और सिर्फ ये दिखाता है कि ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी का डर है, ये प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का डर है.
मैं आतिशी जी से, गोपाल राय जी से और आम आदमी पार्टी से पूछना चाहता हूं, क्या कोर्ट लोकतंत्र को खत्म करना चाह रहा है? क्या कोर्ट विद्वेष की भावना से आपके खिलाफ कार्रवाई कर रहा है? सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने मनीष सिसोदिया की बेल खारिज की थी ना. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने 338 करोड़ का मनी ट्रेल है ये कहा था ना. संजय सिंह को हाई कोर्ट ने बेल रिजेक्ट की है ना. विजय नायर आपके साथी 1 साल से अधिक जेल में हैं, तो क्या उनको भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने रखा है या कोर्ट ने रखा है?
My colleagues continue to be with us. Sharon, before I get you in, I just want to go back to Arunima as far as what exactly is transpiring in court. And Arunima, there are several arguments that are being made by the Enforcement Directorate. The lens is on Arvind Kejriwal as an individual, also as the convener of the Aam Aadmi Party, and how the party is liable and what happened.
Yes, at the trial court level, this is the first time that the Aam Aadmi Party as a political party itself is in the dock. Give me 30 seconds and I'll try to explain what is happening. Till yesterday, Enforcement Directorate was telling the High Court that Arvind Kejriwal was being called in his individual capacity. But today, Additional Solicitor General is making it very clear that the liability of the Aam Aadmi Party cannot be wished aside, And since Arvind Kejriwal is also the national convener of the party, so his responsibility, the role of which, for which he is probed is a dual role. One, individual capacity. Second, national convener of Aam Aadmi Party. Under the Companies Act, vicarious liability is something that is always argued, that if you are involved with the functioning of a company and if there is anything wrong that the company does, you cannot escape responsibility. The same logic is being applied on the Aam Aadmi Party, that if proceeds of the crime were utilized by the Aam Aadmi Party to fund its elections, if hawala money was paid in cash, then as national convener of the party, you cannot escape responsibility. We'll have to wait and see what the court thinks of these arguments.
Absolutely. What the court thinks of these arguments is important. What the other opposition leaders think of these arguments is also key, because the opposition has come out in unison to back Arvind Kejriwal, to question the agencies, the BJP and the central government for what they claim is nothing but witch hunt and vendetta of elected governments, of elected chief ministers. Sharon, that's exactly what this delegation is now going to bring to the notice of the Election Commission. We are going to be seeing them briefing the media in a short while from now. But all opposition parties, all within the India bloc, have now come together on this issue.
Well, they are calling this a multi-party delegation because remember TMC is not part of the India Alliance, but this time around, because saying that this is a very serious issue, the TMC has decided to be part of the delegation. So hence they have said that this is a multi-party delegation that is going to meet the CEC, and they are going to highlight multiple issues. One about the NCP representative Jitendra Awad also, who is here, also said that he will be highlighting how there are certain issues with the NCP Sharad faction. That is something that he will be highlighting, how during the campaign, during the nomination, there are some issues that are being faced by them. That will be one of the main issues that will be pointed out. Apart from, the Congress party is going to of course highlight how their account has been frozen, and then the Kejriwal issue, Arvind Kejriwal issue, is also going to be the top in the agenda. Now they are saying that there needs, what this timing is something that is being questioned by the delegation. They are saying that why is it that the agencies are being misused just ahead of the elections is the question that they are going to ask the CEC. Remember, they want to ask the question is that in 2019 during that particular general election, the CEC at that point of time was Sunil Arora, and he had made sure, he has written to the CBDT saying that any kind of raid that comes in place when the MCC in place, then Election Commission should be kept in loop. Was the Election Commission in loop? In coming days, if there are more raids that is going to be conducted on opposition leaders by the central agencies, whether the Election Commission will be involved, whether they will be informed about it, all these questions is something that will be asked by this delegation. So a multi-party delegation has reached the Election Commission. They have already entered. A while from now, they'll be coming out and will be addressing the press conference. Yes, the highlight of the entire delegation going in and speaking is going to be Arvind Kejriwal. We have seen the kind of solidarity that has come from the opposition at this point of time. Be it the TMC, the left, the Congress, all of them have been in fact extending their support to Arvind Kejriwal, saying that he is the second sitting chief minister who has been arrested by a central agency, and all this is done to muzzle the voice of the opposition. So with that, they have reached the Election Commission. We have to see what they actually come out and speak while tell us while they speak to the media.
Right. Do stay on with us. Anvit also joining us, getting us more details and getting us more perspective on this. We'll try and reconnect that line with my colleague Anvit there, but Anshul, Arunima continue to be with us as well. Arunima, in fact, we're given to understand that the arguments have now concluded in court. The Rouse Avenue Court has now decided to reserve the order for now.
Yes, that's what Ananya is telling us. Ananya is inside the courtroom and he is just confirming to us that the order has been reserved. And just before the order was reserved, what was said by ASG Raju is that under PMLA, a person cannot be prosecuted on just a notion that he is involved in money laundering. This has been said by the defense lawyer, in fact, who is representing Arvind Kejriwal. Their case is that ED is struggling so much to prove why Arvind Kejriwal was arrested, so the judge should grant relief. So we'll have to wait for some time, maybe in an hour or so the judgment will be pronounced. ED is definitely hoping that 10 days custody will be granted so that they can carry on with their custodial interrogation of the Chief Minister of Delhi. Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal family members will be hoping with Festival of Holi just round the corner, there would be better news for them.
Right. In fact, while those arguments were being made, we had ASG Raju and Abhishek Manu Singhvi even get into an argument of sorts about whether this was about remand or whether this was about bail. Several arguments were being made on that front. We're now given to understand that the order has been reserved by the Rouse Avenue Court. When will they reconvene next? We do not have any details of that just yet. We'll try and connect with my colleague Ananya to get us all of those details. But Arunima, as far as Arvind Kejriwal, the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, this is the party that rose to power on the plank of fighting corruption. It was Arvind Kejriwal leading the IAC, or the India Against Corruption Initiative. That was something that was a promise that the Aam Aadmi Party rose to power on, which is why they should be offering themselves for higher scrutiny.
Life has come a full circle for Arvind Kejriwal and for the Aam Aadmi Party. As you pointed out, 11 years ago, they started this battle against corruption. And who was the crusade against? It was against the Congress Party, which was then in power. Today, that Congress Party is coming and standing with Arvind Kejriwal, going to Election Commission, meeting up with his family members, saying that we stand by you. So it's ironic, in politics you have no permanent enemies or friends, you only have permanent interests. That's what many say. But this is a testing moment for Aam Aadmi Party. They inspired many youngsters in this country on their plank of being an anti-corruption, crusader. Now, with their national convener himself in the dock on the charges of corruption, the party is facing its toughest crisis in 11 years. What will they do about the chief ministerial post? Will Kejriwal be forced to step down? Is Delhi and the Aam Aadmi Party looking at a possible scenario where the LG could recommend President's rule? All of these are questions which are dependent on what the court says today. That order could be out from the Rouse Avenue Court in the next 1 hour or so.
Right, so the clock is ticking. We are yet to ascertain what exactly transpired towards the end of these arguments right before the judge decided to reserve the order. Anshul continues to be with us. Anshul, as far as the PMLA case against Arvind Kejriwal goes, like we've been discussing, it's Arvind Kejriwal as an individual that's under the lens as well. As far as the Aam Aadmi Party goes, that is also something that the Enforcement Directorate now seems to be talking about. That is going to be extremely important given that we're just about a few days away from general elections.
Well, definitely, that is a new point of caution or something to think about for the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, because if at all the manner in which the Enforcement Directorate has gone ahead and said that it was the Aam Aadmi Party that was the actual beneficiary, and it has said that the Aam Aadmi Party is a company in the arguments that had taken place just a few minutes ago. So definitely it seems like more trouble is brewing up for the Aam Aadmi Party, and over the next few days we can expect, as the investigation is being taken forward by the Enforcement Directorate, there could be more trouble for the Aam Aadmi Party as a whole itself. On the other hand, their national convener is already in the custody of the Enforcement Directorate. Along with that, senior leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party are already in Tihar jail itself in the same case. So definitely the days ahead are going to be very, very challenging for the Aam Aadmi Party, not only to make sure that they go into election with full force, but also to make sure that they can at least get into the upcoming elections. It remains to be seen when will the Enforcement Directorate actually go ahead and take any sort of tangible action against the party, and if at all they feel that it might be necessary. That is something that the investigating officer has to ascertain. But yes, the manner in which the name of Aam Aadmi Party has been taken in the court today definitely spells more trouble for the party as a whole.
Right, Arunima, Anshul, Sharon, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. We'll of course keep tracking when the court reconvenes and to give its order as far as Arvind Kejriwal's remand goes. But the political war of words is only escalating. Let's listen into some of those reactions.
कुछ दिन पहले तक आम आदमी पार्टी शुचिता की राजनीति की बड़ी बड़ी बातें करती थी, ज्ञान बांटती थी, और आज भ्रष्टाचार से भागने का काम कर रही। उनको 9 बार ईडी ने समन दिए, वो 9 में से एक बार भी पेश होने नहीं गए। ऐसी कौन सी मजबूरी थी कि जांच एजेंसियों से दूर रहना जरूरी था?
Only to take political vendetta against opposition parties, ED is become a weapon of the government. This issue of Kejriwal itself is showing that there are clear political vendetta against opposition parties and their leaders.
I think it's outrageous. I really think it's shocking that a week after the Model Code of Conduct has come into force, that a government department would take it upon itself to arrest somebody who's not only a sitting chief minister, but is the sitting head of a political party that's contesting in the elections. You're essentially saying, and then you've gone and frozen the Congress party's bank accounts as well, so they can't operate and function nationally effectively.
कानून अपना काम कर रहा है और जो भी कानून सम्मत प्रक्रिया है वो पूरे देश में सबके लिए लागू है और न्यायालय का निर्णय है इस पर पूरी तरीके से जो कानूनी तरफ से विषय है वो होगा.
Ananya, my colleague, joining us, getting us more details on this. Ananya, the Delhi court has now reserved its order. Any inkling of when it will resume? Ananya? We'll try and reconnect that line once again with my colleague. Listen in to some more reactions though that are pouring in.
जो जैसा करता है वैसा भरता है. अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने दिल्ली के खजाने को लूटा है. भोली भाली जनता, झुग्गी वाली जनता, अनऑथराइज्ड कॉलोनी की जनता, दिल्ली में पानी के लिए, साफ पानी के लिए तरसती तड़पती हुई जनता, आखिर उसकी हाय तो लगनी थी.
अरविंद केजरीवाल कोई एक शख्स का नाम ही नहीं है, एक विचार का नाम है, एक विचारधारा का नाम है. आप जरूर अरविंद केजरीवाल के शरीर को गिरफ्तार कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उनके विचारों को गिरफ्तार नहीं कर सकते.
Ananya is back with us. Ananya, the Rouse Avenue Court has reserved its order on Arvind Kejriwal's remand. Any inkling of when it's set to resume?
Well, the judge said the orders will be passed very, very shortly from now on. But you've seen the hearing that has continued for almost, 3 hours before, in fact, the Rouse Avenue Court was produced around 2 to 15. And the hearing continued till 5 p.m. But the big points that come out of this particular hearing, that the whole excise policy was changed in order to fund the elections of Goa for the Aam Aadmi Party. The big claim of the Enforcement Directorate coming in. Second big point coming in from this particular hearing is that both in individual capacity and as the Chief Minister of Delhi, the national convener of Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal can be arrested, is what the claim of the ED is, that they have a dual case made out against him. Though this is contrary to the submission they had made before the High Court. They said that they had summoned him before them in an individual capacity, but they do have a dual case against him. So basically hinting that the Aam Aadmi Party too could be made an accused in this particular case. Not only this, a fresh statement of a Goa candidate from the Aam Aadmi Party has also been recorded by the Enforcement Directorate, which accepts to be, in fact, a crucial evidence against the Delhi Chief Minister. So how much of it does it play up before the court? How much days of remand would be granted by the court of law is something that we'll have to wait and watch for. Poonam.
Do keep a track of that, Ananya. For the moment, thank you so much for getting us the latest. On that note, it's time for a quick break here on this edition of Nation at 5. Back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
The arrest happened and ED released that press statement. That was the first hint that ED is confident of a case against Arvind Kejriwal. It is moving to questioning him as an accused, and then subsequently last night we saw what happened. Delhi High Court refused to give any interim relief. ED did not waste any time. They landed at Kejriwal's residence with a search warrant, and soon enough they arrested him. So ED is clearly saying that Kejriwal knew about this alleged conspiracy, even though interestingly he is not signed on any papers. So that is what his defense is claiming, that what are you accusing me of? I have not signed on any paper. You have not found any money in my account. You have not found any money in my in my premises. So where is the money laundering, or where is the crime that I have committed? But like I pointed out, ED's case is that the money was actually utilized to fund elections for the Aam Aadmi Party, specifically in Goa. I think in minutes from now, the concerned judge will walk in, special judge for CBI, and ED will just walk into the courtroom and the proceedings will begin, and then we'll know the details of that remand application.
Right, and that is the situation as we see, ladies and gentlemen, those visuals on your screen. Arvind Kejriwal at the Rouse Avenue Court after the dramatic scenes yesterday outside his residence where the Enforcement Directorate arrested the Delhi Chief Minister. Now this has shaken up the politics, ladies and gentlemen, on the road to the Lok Sabha elections, with several allies of the India Alliance rallying around Arvind Kejriwal. calling this a complete witch hunt. I'm also joined by my colleague Yash Goyal, who's reporting from outside the Aam Aadmi Party office, where the entire cadre of the party has rallied around the Chief Minister, saying that this is a complete witch hunt on the road to the Lok Sabha election, saying these are trumped up charges against Delhi Chief Minister because the BJP is spooked by the rise of the Aam Aadmi Party. Yash, what are the scenes outside the Aam Aadmi Party office as the Aam Aadmi Party cadre continue the offensive against the central government?
Well, Ayushman, as of now, near our office, the situation is relatively better as of now, because now all eyes are on the courtroom, because as of now, there was no relief which was granted to the AAP national convener Arvind Kejriwal by any of the courts, and today, now as per part of the ED's procedure, now he is in front of the Rouse Avenue Court, and in some time from now we are understanding the judge will arrive, and in fact then the proceedings will begin in regards to this very matter. As of now, things here at the Aam Aadmi Party office are, I can say that a sense of unease, calm prevails, because everyone's eyes are on the courtroom, because what happens, what transpires in this very hearing, because this is a crucial one. This will decide the further course of action in this entire case, whether and how long the ED will be able to get the custody, or there will be something else which will be coming to the table. As of now, this is the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg where I'm coming to you from. The commotion panned out over here early in the morning. In fact, yesterday late night, a call for protest was given by the Aam Aadmi Party senior leader. In fact, on that call, a lot of leaders actually gathered over here. And in fact, one thing which I have to tell you that speak to any one of the Aam Aadmi Party senior leader, and this time around they say that you can arrest Arvind Kejriwal, but you cannot arrest the idea which he follows and which he propagates in his followers. So the optimism is definitely not there in the Aam Aadmi Party cadre, because they have seen in the similar case what had happened with leaders like Manish Sisodia, Satyendra Jain, and also with Sanjay Singh. So as of now, all the eyes are...
Welcome back. You're watching Nation at 5, and the story we're tracking at this hour is about the Congress party. The Congress claims that their assets have been frozen, their accounts have been frozen, and this is detrimental to their campaign ahead of the 2024 big elections. Why is the government freezing our accounts even though we've given ourselves up for scrutiny is the question Congress asks. But the government is very, very certain that there are no accounts that have been frozen. In fact, sources from the government have now told us that no accounts have been frozen. Like every other individual, if taxes are not paid, then those accounts will not be able to be used. So once the Congress pays those dues, once the Congress pays those taxes, those accounts will be opened up. In fact, the Delhi High Court refused to give any sort of respite to the Congress party. The Income Tax Tribunal has not given any respite to the Congress either. My colleague Aman joins us to get us more perspective on this. Aman, as far as the Delhi High Court order goes, it makes some serious allegations, some serious indictments of the Congress party.
Well, Poonam, the Delhi High Court order, the Congress went to Delhi High Court because the IT department has reopened assessments of the Congress for the last 7 years, from 2014 to 2021. Now, the High Court in 3 of these matters today has not given any relief to the Congress. It has said the IT department will complete its assessment by March 31st, and subsequently whatever action will follow has to follow. But what is interesting is that the High Court has listed out all material that the IT has found during searches in 2019 in Madhya Pradesh and in other states, which reflects unaccounted transactions involving the Congress party. The High Court order in fact has said that these unaccounted transactions, which the IT department has listed, amount to a whopping rupees 520 crores. It is even mentioned the names of senior Congress leaders Kamal Nath and Digvijay Singh involved in some of these transactions. It has in fact said that the documents that the IT department has found during searches in 2019 show unaccounted transactions related to the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, Madhya Pradesh elections of 2013, 2018, and that is why IT department is justifying reopening the assessments of 2014, 2021. What this means, Poonam, is that if the IT department determines that these are unaccounted transactions, these are violations, then the Congress, which has filed its income tax returns from 14 to 21, paying no tax, because political parties don't have to pay tax on donations, that entire income may become taxable. That would mean a huge amount which have to be paid, and the Congress party, Poonam, has already paid rupees 135 crores due for the assessment year 2018-19, whose assessment was not found to be proper and they were found to be violations. So one can only imagine what the amount could be finally for 7 years of assessments if they become taxable. So the Congress party, which did a press conference yesterday criticizing the 2018-19 assessment order, 135 crores recovered from them, and the 1994 order assessment for which 53 crores has been demanded from them, may be in far bigger trouble because the High Court now has refused to give them any relief in the 7 assessment years in which the assessment is currently on. Within a week or so, the IT department will be finalizing its demand order, how much the Congress needs to pay for these assessment years.
Now, this is the second time around that the Delhi High Court has refused any sort of reprieve for the Congress party. The first time it refused to interfere as far as the ITAT was concerned. What next for the Congress party? What more do they have in terms of legal recourse?
Well, they can go to the Supreme Court against this, but the High Court order, the 45-page order which we have with us is very, very detailed. It basically says that the Congress has come to the High Court right at the fag end of the entire proceeding, because it says, in fact, if I quote from the order, it says that the Congress party has come at the fag end and proverbial at the last moment to the High Court when the assessment is about to be completed by March 31st. That is the reason it has cited to not give any relief to the Congress. In fact, the court has said that the evidence that the IT has collected against the Congress appears to be substantial and concrete. So 540 crores of worth of 520 crore worth of transactions, unaccounted transaction. The High Court is seeming to suggest that the IT's claim seems substantial. It requires a relook, and that is why the IT is having a relook. I think the Congress has very little time now. It can go to the Supreme Court, but if the IT department serves a huge demand notice after the coming week to the Congress, there might be a much bigger amount that the Congress may have to cough up.
And that would spell more trouble in election season. Aman, thank you so much for getting at that perspective. In fact, cash donations is something that the Congress party is under the lens for. This is also to do with electoral bonds and what happened in the aftermath of the data that was released by the SBI first to the Election Commission and the one that has now been disclosed. In fact, at CNN News 18's Rising Bharat Summit, Union Home Minister Amit Shah did speak of these cash donations of the electoral bonds and what it would mean once these details were out. Listen into that exclusive interaction.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जिस चुनावी चंदा बॉन्ड को इलीगल और अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल कहा, उस स्कीम के तहत मौजूदा सत्ताधारी दल ने हजारों करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा अपने अकाउंट में भर लिया है और दूसरी तरफ साजिशन मुख्य विपक्षी दल का बैंक अकाउंट फ्रीज कर दिया गया है ताकि हम पैसों के अभाव में बराबरी से चुनाव ना लड़े और ना लड़ पाए। ये सत्ताधारी दल द्वारा एक खतरनाक खेल है।
A systematic effort is underway by the Prime Minister to cripple the Indian National Congress financially.
All our bank accounts have been frozen. We can do no campaign work. We cannot support our workers. We cannot support our candidates. Our leaders cannot fly from one part of the country to the other. Forget fly. They can't take a railway train. And this has been done literally 2 months before the election campaign.
Shifting focus now to more news coming in. The BJP has released its fourth list of candidates for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. This is a list of 15 names for Tamil Nadu and for Puducherry. Remember, Tamil Nadu goes to elections in the first phase on the 19th of April. Payal, my colleague, joining us, getting us more details. Payal, what are the highlights of this fourth list?
Well, the fourth list has been released, and this includes all the candidates that the BJP is going to field on its own symbol, on its own ticket, as far as the state of Tamil Nadu is concerned, after announcing 9 seats yesterday. So, of course, you have Sarath Kumar's wife, a prominent actor's wife, taking on, possibly Manikam Tagore from the Congress party from Virudnagar. The party has fielded all its 5 general secretaries in this list. Yesterday also you saw a high-profile list really coming out, with Union Minister Dr. L. Murugan being fielded, Anna Malai to be contesting from Coimbatore. So the BJP now has fielded whatever candidates they had to field for the upcoming Lok Sabha election. The other 10 seats would be given by the PMK, as we already know, and their list has also been announced, and the BJP will now be giving tickets to smaller parties which have either merged themselves with the BJP or probably are contesting on an independent symbol as well. So it will be important to see when the announcement really happens, because you have O. Selvam, the former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, also in the phase. He is likely to be fielded from Ramanathapuram, is what we are given to understand. He will be fielded on an independent ticket. And of course, another seat from where his son is currently sitting MP is from where the TTV Dinakaran himself is expected to fight in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. So obviously a lot at stake as far as the BJP is really concerned, given the fact that they are looking to make inroads in Tamil Nadu and the fact that the AIDMK unit seems to be a bit of a split unit. There's TTV Dinakaran in one place, there's OPS versus EPS as well. So obviously these candidates have been announced, and the BJP will now be hoping that at least they can make inroads, because Poonam so far, out of 39 seats, the BJP in 2014 and 2019 had a score of 0. So they're hoping that at least, some candidates, for example, Annamalai is fielded from a very strong bastion of the BJP party where they've been, only gaining momentum. Coimbatore will be able to get them that first victory that the BJP has been searching for at least the last decade or so.
And Tamil Nadu is the state that the BJP is really placing its bets on, isn't it? That's where they hope that they can not only make inroads but gain a sizable amount. This is the first time that they're contesting without the AIADMK, even though they have stitched an alliance with several other smaller parties in the state.
Well, absolutely. The BJP has this agenda of 400 in mind, and that cannot really happen, Poonam, without a big state like Tamil Nadu. And that's season 6, this is where the Prime Minister already, ever since 2024 began, the Prime Minister taking the onus upon himself. He's the BJP's biggest star campaigner. The Saffron Party will be hoping that by fielding the right kind of candidates and the right combination. And of course, the state unit of the BJP has got a huge push under the aggressive leadership of Annamalai. Mr. K. Annamalai has taken on the DMK, has taken on the Congress Party in the state. He's been somebody who's been out and about. His yatra was a huge success. The Saffron Party, interestingly, also fielding Dr. L. Murugan from Nilgiri, where he will in fact be taking on A. Raja, again a mighty politician from that region. Of course, somebody who has got the 2G scam, the reputation preceding him. But L. Murugan also has been one of the unique members of the BJP, in fact, union ministers who've been fielded and at the same time given a 6-year term to the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is from where Murugan has been elected from Madhya Pradesh for the full 6-year term. But of course, he's been put into the electoral race. So obviously, the Saffron Party is hoping that he'll be able to win from there and probably that Rajya Sabha seat can go to somebody else. So the Saffron Party putting all its efforts in as well. The campaign is yet to begin. But like I said, 6 to 7 visits by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in Tamil Nadu in particular, talking about the rich culture, talking about the connection, talking about the fact that this is a party which is respected the culture, the traditions of the people of Tamil Nadu, given honor to the people by actually installing the Bengal in Parliament, and also the fact that the BJP has organized Kashi Tamil Sangamam, Saurashtra Tamil Sangamam, and has done multiple things, including also given a Padma Award recently to one of the prominent citizens of the state of Tamil Nadu, Vejanti Mala Bali. That's something that the BJP is saying that they have done a lot as far as that is very concerned, and they're hoping that the people will in fact bless them with votes, given the fact that it's always been the Dravidian parties which have been in power, and those are dynastic corrupt parties is what the BJP has been saying.
Right, we've already seen how in the last 3 months of this year in itself, the Prime Minister has kept his focus on Tamil Nadu. You've been talking about that as well. We're now less than a month away before Tamil Nadu votes. What's on the Prime Minister's docket as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned? Are we going to be seeing him visit the state much more often now?
Well, definitely. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to use his personal charisma, he's going to use his charm to actually speak to the people of Tamil Nadu, make them understand that yes, this is a party to be brought to power, because they have a reputation preceding them, they have a reputation of development, they have a reputation of working towards the upliftment of the weaker sections, upliftment of the poor, empowering the women, looking after the interests of the youth, and a huge IT industry focus has also been there. The semiconductor industry has also been a focus as far as the Modi government is really concerned. So more and more visits are expected by the Prime Minister and senior leaders within the party, within the government as well. But like you say, that there's nobody who can actually match the aura and the charisma of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He connects with everybody, and wherever he goes, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, that is something which the BJP is really hoping to maximize, because he's one leader who is their relentless star campaigner from Panchayat to Parliament. The BJP is definitely making more demands for his campaigning, his availability in the state. Right. Remember, this is not an assembly election, Poonam. This is a Lok Sabha election. The Prime Minister will be required to go from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, everywhere across the country.
Absolutely, Payal. For the moment, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. The BJP has now released its complete list of who is going to be contesting from Tamil Nadu on a BJP ticket. The rest, of course, is going to be with smaller allies, smaller parties that they have allied with this time around. Tamilisai Soundararajan, the former governor of Telangana, who quit a few days ago, she rejoined the BJP. She is going to be contesting as well this time around. Listen in to what she told us in this exclusive conversation.
Very excited because you've got Chennai South. Is this the constituency that you wanted?
Yes. This is the constituency preferred by my party, and I thank our Honorable Prime Minister, thank our National President, and thank our State President for supporting me. And I am in South Chennai for more than 45 years. I had a free clinic here, and I have served these people. People also very supportive to me, and I'm really very happy. This is a very happiest moment in my life. And after returning from the governorship, and I wanted to directly serve the people, and the party has given me the opportunity, and I'm thankful. But we will be victorious. Each and every second we will be working hard. So you can see all our Karyakartas immediately after the news, they have flooded here, and definitely we will give a very great result to our party.
What will be the highlights of your campaign, ma'am? What are the issues that you plan to raise when you're campaigning? Is it the floods where people are impacted? What are the issues that you will be talking about?
As a resident of South Chennai, I know the geography and society problem which the South Chennai is facing, particularly the infrastructure. And DMK's, now the present Chief Minister, was the mayor, but in spite of that you would have seen a drainage problem is there, even the posh areas, even the very marginalized people where they live, the basic comfort is not there, and there is no any infrastructure. Drainage is a very big problem, floods are a very big problem, and apart from traffic, it's a very big problem, and these all should be rectified because they should be having ease of life.
Congratulations, you will be contesting from Chennai Central. How does it feel?
It's an honor to be representing Sri Narendra Modi at Central Chennai. As far as BJP is concerned, all the candidates are Narendra Modi, and we want to take the Modi guarantee to the people. We're going to talk about the good governance. When Sri Narendra Modi takes oath as Prime Minister for the third term, we want to ensure that we have high number of elected members from Tamil Nadu. So under the leadership of Annamalai, we are determined to take on this evil force, namely DMK. The highly dynastic, the highly corrupt, vindictive politics of DMK has to be put to an end, and the people of Tamil Nadu need good governance, and we are hopeful that we'll be able to score a big victory this time.
A lot of surprises this time. Annamalai contesting from Coimbatore. All the heavyweights this time will be contesting from across the state. Was this something that all of you planned to do?
See, Annamalai is the captain of the team. He's a state president. So he's going to lead us from the front. It's like Dhoni. And he's going to be leading us from the front, and we're going to be playing along with him. He's created a lot of positivity over the last 3 years, and this is going to be transforming into electoral gains this time. People have trusted themselves in BJP. People have immense trust in Sri Narendra Modi, as it has been evident from the last 7-8 visits of the Prime Minister over the last 1 month. He's been visiting Tamil Nadu extensively, and every visit office has been gathering a lot of momentum, a lot of people coming for his rallies and showing their love for the Prime Minister.
Shifting focus now, Arvind Kejriwal's arrest yesterday has united the opposition. In fact, we saw a multi-party delegation from within the opposition ranks at the Election Commission just a short while ago, petitioning the EC of such action being taken against opposition leaders in election season. Abhishek Manu Singhvi there addressing the media right after that meeting. Listen in.
As you can see, friends, we have a very distinguished delegation. Across the board, almost every political party in the opposition is represented here. I must tell you, I'm not taking names, but this delegation was activated late last night. Not last night, late last night. Some of them got the information after 11, 12, 1 o'clock. Many have made the effort to fly here. One of them is Mr. O'Brien. They were not in Delhi. 1 or 2 could not come, but they've given their full support. Every possible political color is represented from the opposition here at short notice. Now, we went in this delegation and unitedly told in a very detailed presentation, which is here, which you'll get also a copy of, the election, JMM and Shiv Sena could not send their reps at short notice. All the others are here. They have specifically assured us of unconditional, unstinted support, unqualified support. Now, in the Election Commission, we pointed out that this is not a normal complaint. It is not a complaint about X, Y or Z. It is a larger issue of affecting, impairing and undermining, sabotaging the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. We pointed out that a level playing field is the heart and soul of free and fair elections. And free and fair elections are the heart and soul of democracy itself. And democracy has been held repeatedly by the Supreme Court to be part of basic structure. So the moment you skew, you render the level playing field into a non-level playing field, then what do? You are actually affecting democracy and therefore the basic structure itself. How do you do it? You use and misuse agencies blatantly. Cases which are 20 years old. If you have to take action, I am assuming for a minute that action is justified. Why can't the action be deferred till June, July? What is the need to arrest him today? What is the need to raid him tomorrow? Right on the cusp in the middle of elections. It is because you want to win by unfair means before the first vote is cast. It is because you want to win the election before the first vote is cast. And we have also given a very interesting list. We pointed out that in 75 years of Indian history, no party of whatever color, including the BJP in all its earlier avatars, has ever thought of arresting a sitting chief minister. What happened last night? Never before has it been that the other chief minister who had forced to demit office a few days before that was also arrested from Jharkhand. Never before we have given a list of recent, I repeat recent only, 11 other examples. Every party of this political spectrum standing here has been harassed, raided and arrested. Why? All the virtues are in this pocket, all the vices are this side? Or are you blind like Nelson, who chose to look only one way? He looked only this side, he saw what he wanted to see. He never saw the vices of this side. Not a single person of the ruling party is affected. How is that a level playing field? We asked this question of the mega policeman and custodian of our democracy, the Election Commission. We told them that you have constitutional powers. If you can appoint DGPs, if you can appoint heads of police, you can change Home Secretary, you have done it just now, 1 week ago. Then why can't you control the appointments to the ED, the CBI and the IT during at least the period which is known as commonly the hot period or the MCC period? There is absolutely no exemption. They are also statutory agencies, they are also executive agencies. The EC should not hesitate, we are making it very clear. We have also cited circulars of the EC, we have cited the Representation of People's Act, undue influence, you cannot allow to be used. You cannot allow agencies to act in a neutral, non-neutral, non-discriminatory fashion, and so on and so forth. I will not take more time. I will only end by saying, that when you look at our 14 examples which are very recent, Thank you, sir. I told the Election Commission respectfully that you all remember the James Bond film. The James Bond film says, when it happens the first time, it is happenstance, that is chance. When it happens the second time, you can call it coincidence. When it happens the third time, it is enemy action. Recent 14 examples. I think this country must introspect, the EC must take immediate action so that words are not words but have concrete actions built into them.
What about the freezing of accounts, Congress party's accounts?
Kavita, she has been arrested and whisked away by the Enforcement Directorate. She's also obviously extremely upset right now, given the fact that others in the Liquorgate scam have not really had their way in the court of law.
Mr. Sen, the
election commissioners were always selected by the Prime Minister earlier as well. In fact, now there is a 3-member committee. It wasn't so always.
Why should we believe that just like Bengal was a breakout for the BJP in 2019, that the South will not be one for the BJP this time?
Mr. Vivek Srivastava, you are not, as per your political ideology, allowed to define any religious faith. So don't attach any meaning to it without understanding what Hindutva actually is, sir.
Brought to you by. In fact, the cadre is also waiting for what is going to happen inside the courtroom, and then the further course of action will be decided by the Aam Aadmi Party.
Right, and I'm also joined by my colleague Anvit Srivastav. Anvit, I remember those scenes years back whenever Arvind Kejriwal would launch a protest against the corruption charges of the UPA regime. And in that time, the entire city, the national capital, used to be paralyzed given the mobilization of the Aam Aadmi Party workers. Now, yesterday, after Arvind Kejriwal's arrest, we saw a very strict security bandobast being done by the Delhi police outside Kejriwal's residence and even outside the ED office. Has that net now expanded to the entire capital, as not just the Aam Aadmi Party but the entire India alliance is up in arms?
Yeah, see, quite ironical, Anshuman, when this entire movement had erupted from anti-corruption movement, and Arvind Kejriwal rose from it, and eventually became the CM of the capital, and now he has been produced in this special court in charges of corruption and money laundering. So that certainly is ironical, and coming to the latest development, the hearing we are given to understand has begun in this case. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who will be presenting him, has also reached the court, and he'll be physically be present inside the court, and we are being told that he has reached. You see this entire stretch, how heavily barricaded it is, and this is one of the gates from where the entry of vehicles are allowed, but this is not the gate from where the Kejriwal has been brought inside. He has been brought from the back gate, and he had been brought inside the court under heavy cordon, and this entire stretch, as you can see, has been barricaded. This at the barricade that we are standing at is at least the 4th or 5th level of barricading, because this entire stretch has been blocked. Just a short while ago, this entire stretch was vehicular movement was allowed. This was open, but just a short while ago, senior officers came here and they ordered their subordinates to shut this road completely. And now you see the kind of barricading that has been done, because no vehicle will be allowed here until this hearing goes on. And also because just a short distance from here there is Aam Aadmi Party's office, where heavy protests have been going on since early morning. All the Karyakartas, they took to road yesterday also after the CM's arrest, and it was in this anticipation that Delhi police had made such elaborate attempts. Also, if we talk about what the case is right now, and what is the biggest fear of Aam Aadmi Party when their convener stands arrested, is the bail of whether or not he'll get a bail like Manish Sisodia or Sanjay Singh, or he will stay inside jail for a longer time. Because PMLA, when we talk about Prevention of Money Laundering Act, the section 45 that deals with bail provisions, it clearly says that only if the court believes that the person is not guilty, or if they can vouch for that the person, when he is out on bail, will not commit another crime, only then bail can be granted. Also, the counsels who are representing the person on whose allegations have been levelled, if they manage to prove that the allegations are baseless, only in those conditions the bail can be granted. And this is one reason when even be it Manish Sisodia or Sanjay Singh, whoever have appeared in the court for asking for bail, the court have not been able to grant any bail. Even yesterday when Arvind Kejriwal, he had asked for some relief from High Court. High Court also failed to give any relief, and they said that at this point of time they can't give any such directions. So these things will be kept in mind. Also, ED would want his remand, because they want custodial interrogation. They want to confront Arvind Kejriwal, who is the top person in this pyramid that they call the liquor policy scam, and they would want to confront him with each and every person who has been arrested, who are key people, who are key conspirators, as the ED calls them. Recently, after K. Kavita's arrest, ED had also called Arvind Kejriwal as one of the conspirators in the case, and therefore they would want to confront them, so that the money trail that is being investigated in this entire case, the 100 crore kickback that was allegedly received, and the money that was used in Punjab and Goa elections, that can be proven and the investigation can be taken forward.
Right, so just to get an update for our viewers, the hearing has started at the Rouse Avenue Court. Now, Senior Advocate Vikram Chaudhary and Abhishek Manu Singhvi are representing Arvind Kejriwal, and also we're learning is that Additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju is arguing the ED's case.
And therefore, this entire arrest ahead of Lok Sabha elections is political vendetta. That is likely to be the line of argument for the defense, but like we have...
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Battle for Arvind Kejriwal's custody was fought tooth and nail in the trial court just till a short while ago, while the ED has declared the Delhi Chief Minister as the kingpin of the Liquorgate scam. AAP Supremo's defense argued against the need for an arrest, especially right now, weeks ahead of general elections. Not often have we seen big political names actually being arrested in corruption cases. After Hemant Soren, Arvind Kejriwal is the second chief minister to fall into custody of agencies recently. Although Soren resigned as chief minister, while Kejriwal's party is insisting that he will not. Add K. Kavita's arrest to the mix along with Manish Sisodia, Sanjay Singh. This Liquorgate saga has become possibly the biggest giant slayer of all corruption cases in Indian history. You could look at it as a watershed moment where the high and mighty are being brought down to earth, or as opposition would put it, this is a classic telltale sign of an undeclared emergency, particularly before a general election. Now, Indie bloc leaders have been to the Election Commission's door to raise this matter. The Aam Aadmi Party is writing furiously to the EC as well. Opposition leaders, particularly other sitting chief ministers, have outraged. Interestingly though, in none of these high-profile arrests, especially recently, is there any sense of public outrage. That's just the times we live in, or is there a message there? There are no spontaneous outbursts from the public or rallying against any government or agency action. This does not augur well for the opposition. Does the opposition have any public sympathy against these arrests? And how may these arrests affect the upcoming elections? We'll